Right, so good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the time of the day it is for you. For me, it's probably about 4:15, and it's the 6th of August, 2025, and you join me at Shackiston, where I thought I'd come down and take a picture, and I thought it'd be a good place to start the video, because I've got that. And it's not a Honda. Well, it's not a CB500X, and it's not even a Honda. It's a Yamaha. And you're probably thinking, Virago, 535, how boring. No, it is not the 535. It is, in fact, a 250. It does say somewhere on the engine. I don't know where. But no, this is she's a Y reg, so that would make her a 2001. Yamaha Virago 250, and this is a no thrills back to basics bike, and I like it. So obviously, as we can tell, it's a cruiser, which is a bit different for me, and it's a single disc on the front and a good old drum on the rear, which does need adjusting. As I say, everything about this is original, perfectly original. See the exhaust, it's just everything about this bike has just got age-related marks on it. Yeah, single headlight, some little indicators. I mean, here's the proof of how simple a bike this is. Speedo, full beam light, neutral light, indicator light. Kill switch and actual lights, so you have side lights or full beam or a dip beam. Obviously you got your pass light, your full beam, main beam, horn and indicators, which is the wrong way around for me, but I'm a Honda rider, and a choke cable. Yep, it's carburetted. I think, if I remember rightly, it's a single carb. And obviously keys down here, so, and if you want to put your steering lock on, you put it that way on, and there's a separate key for that. Don't ask me how many times I've been caught out by that. So yeah, this is a bike that I have a bit of history with, so to call this a first ride is a bit of a lie. But we'll get on the road and we'll talk about the history of me and this bike. Usually it does have a sissy bar and luggage rack. I've got some pictures, but obviously my granddad has taken that off because this is one of his bikes. And he took it off because he was having issues getting on. It was with his leg, he was just catching it, so he took it off. No, I don't have any issues. And this is how low the seat is. Look, it's up my kneecap. If I bring it up, it's hardly tall. So side stand, and yeah, forward controls. Oh, let's get moving. It's a bit wham. Yeah, 19,000 miles, all original, and yeah, up there. So yeah, that's where we are, Shackiston Station. I didn't see any going, I just took a picture. And yes, this is a very easy bike to ride. Now I could take the little lane, but that will be boring. So obviously, being it's got a long rake, it just wants to dive, I've noticed. And I've noticed it before actually, when you start turning handlebars at slow speed, but it's all something you get used to. You can just see, if you just look at the speedo, how easy it's wanting to crack on. So I'm in third gear at the minute, and she's Just wanting to go. There's fourth, still pulling. It's going to shut off because I know this little bit of road. Go this way, so because it's a bit quieter. So I think that's third, fourth, not quite full throttle, fifth, now full throttle. And that is what I believe is about 60. So yeah, being a V-twins is quite bulls like a train, as some would say. So I got the inspiration for the picture. And yeah, plenty of really nice with the gearbox. Just knock it down a couple of gears and you get a nice bit of engine braking. This bike was what taught me why people like V-twins. Right, we'll go this way because I'm just going to go down the lane for the sake of going down a lane. So yeah. Oop, forgot about this. So yeah, very low seat height, very sort of short to the pegs for me, but brilliant for shorter riders, dare I say female riders. And the weight, oh the weight, or lack of it. So I believe this is about 168 kilos, and I think that's a wet weight if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I don't know the torque figures, and I'll put them up. And yes, that lack of weight and that little V-twin motor is a brilliant combination, and it just falls into the bend so easy. Counter leaning it, it's one of the techniques that really helps with cruisers, I've come to realise. And yeah, this bike in history, I suppose I should talk about that because this isn't exactly a first ride, but it is done in a first ride style. So this bike is the first bike I went pillion on for any sort of distance. And by any sort of distance, I mean anything over about an hour. So I went from Colville to Skegness with my granddad. Obviously he was riding and I was a kid, and I was on the back of this with the sissy bar. And yeah, it was a lovely ride out, as I recall. It is also the first bike in which my granddad ever lent me. Now he has this and the 2016 Royal Enfield Bullet 500 that I did a video on a while ago, and yes, this was what he let me borrow first when I killed the old CB, purely for out of the two it was worth the least. And he let me ride this first, and then me and this bike stopped getting along a little bit. I think it was because this has been much a toy and much stood over the years, and then all of a sudden I'm trying to use it as a workhorse. I don't think it quite liked it. I can't blame it. I wouldn't want to be semi-retired and then have to work again. But what this bike has done for me, hello, is it got me into this mentality of back to basics. I mean, don't get me wrong, the CB is not a tripped up bike in any way, shape or form. It's a fairly basic machine, but this is a lot more basic. It's a little bit older, drum brakes on the rear. That does need tightening up. It's a very minor issue. But yeah, it got me back into just going out. And I've spent quite a few evenings where it's been warm in I use when I was in my Alpinestars jacket, my jeans, and just going out and just cruising about and enjoying myself. And I didn't have to go everywhere at the speed limit. I would quite happily be one of those people that you would see doing 50, 55 in a 60. I became one of those people I hate. But yeah, this bike is it's a back to basics machine. It's old school. To the point where the battery was on the blink on this one night, and I was going somewhere. I was wherever I was going, I was staying for the night, and I phoned my granddad up and said, I'm having issues. You know, what's the issue? So I told him it was just bogging about and misfiring. It just wasn't happy. He went, have you got the lights on? Yeah. What difference does that make? He went, maybe it's the battery, turn the lights off. So I did. I turned the lights off and the bike behaved. Just as it was getting dark. So yeah, needless to say, that was a sketchy ride. Everyone's flashing me, turn your lights on, turn your lights on. I can't, otherwise I stop. Yeah, there's been a few other running issues, but I think we've resolved that. Yeah, this is what I like doing with this bike. This is what I encourage anybody to get a small bike and go for a cruise. As I say, this is a bike that got me into a bit of motorcycle touring. It's the bike that's made me. This is the bike that also made me go, I kind of want to ride a Harley, which is weird to say. But yeah, basically this whole cruiser stuff, I didn't understand it. A bit like the Bullet, as I said in the Bullet video. I didn't understand the Bullet and the 500 single and the charm of it until I rode it. And I didn't understand cruisers until I rode this, which any Harley fanboy is going to be all over me. But that's the truth. And that is my thoughts with this bike, is it's just an honest little bike that's sort of, it felt, the 250s, anyone that knows the UK licensing law knows that you used to be able to have a 250 on a CBT. That law got changed. The 250 sort, that's why you don't see 250s anymore. Yeah, but I understand a lot of things now. Maybe I've grown up. I mean, the lights are big and round, and apparently the indicators are really good visibility to Graham, according to Graham. I just love the fact that the indicators are chrome and they're so big that I can see myself in them. And I just see how sort of badass and cool I feel. And just cruising. So yeah, that is my opinion, and light opinions. Close to a first ride, but not quite a first ride. A mini ride. I probably in the time of riding this, in the years that I've used it, I've probably put a couple of thousand on it. You don't need to indicate, mate. It's a one-way road. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I have a nasty habit of rambling on too long. I don't know how it's going to come out. I'm just going to go home now and then edit it and try a new helmet on whilst I edit. So all that remains for me to say is ride safe, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!